you measure a man? By the things that he owns, and his cash or his loans, and his cars or his homes? Or do you measure a man by what clings to his soul and the minds that he molds with the knowledge that he holds? When you measure a man and try to determine his wealth, may it be upon wisdom, happiness, and health. You can either understand or just stand aside. What does it take to be the richest man alive? I knew an old man, his name isn't important. All the plush things in life, he couldn't afford it. He had a mother who cared, and yo, his brother was there. They loved each other, but values was something none of them shared. He was a smart man, maybe the smartest I've known. A strong mind filled with jewels and a heart full of gold. Lived in a nice apartment with his wife, the daughter was grown. It wasn't much, but he was so proud to call it his home. We used to speak on occasion, yo, talk on the phone. He loved thinking at the park after dark when it's cold. Then one day he asked if we could just go walking alone. Said he had a story to tell me, I'ma start with this poem. He said, I got one last thing to say, I hope that you'll listen, cause I don't know how much time I have left to be living. Every day you open your eyes is a blessing that's given. The secret of life isn't hard, it's just a lesson that's hidden. Look, when I was a child, I grew up in a wealthy family with material things, but love and comfort was a fantasy. I couldn't understand it, everything I always had it, except for true affection that was just taken for granted. My place on this planet, that was confusing to me. My brother was happy, so that was what I assumed I should be. He asked me, why you always just be reading and writing and wasting your time on the things that aren't even exciting? Why are you fighting what you have? Join the family business, be successful in life and just increase your salary's digits. I could tell my silence was making him fret. I said success is getting what you want, happiness is wanting what you get. How do you measure a man? By the things that he owns, and his cash or his loans, and his cars or his homes? Or do you measure a man by what clings to his soul and the minds that he molds with the wisdom that he holds? When you measure a man and try to determine his wealth, may it be upon knowledge, understanding, and health. You can either understand or just stand aside. What does it take to be the richest man alive? He left the house at 17, got his license to teach. Parents said he deserved better, they been fighting for weeks. Acted like he was deceased, but through the sorrow he laughed. And though his brother really felt sad, he followed their path. But next the man told me once he got back on his feet, the knowledge of self was a phrase that he could actually seek. He never felt happier just to see his classes and reach into their minds, hoping to change lives with passion he speaks. And he did, there were so many children's futures he changed. His every word was like an arrow that would shoot through the brain. An unusual gain of trust he now received from the kids, and joy filled his soul, that was his biggest reason to live. He said, fell in love at 25 and married my queen, and she was like the new inspiration to carry my dreams. I think the world could hear her screams through the hospital door. I had never before witnessed something so godly and pure. My daughter was born on the 8th of July. I knew I'd always live through her once I found my eternal place in the sky. I saw a piece of me hidden within her face and her eyes, so I never feared death again, there was no way I could die. I kept on with my studies, so much was still new to me, soaking up every day and loving every opportunity. Then one night, while grading papers and jotting the scores, he was interrupted by a soft knock on the door. Opening slowly and almost had forgot who he saw. Couldn't say a word, it was like he had a lock on his jaw. Just stared at him with pure love, nothing to hate. His brother's eyes were staring back and tears covered his face. As he cried, he said, I apologize for leaving you lonely. I can't take it no more, the whole life I've been leading is phony. All I have is money and people who deceive me for only a simple material thing. I hate the greeters control me. I should've listened when you spoke of happiness and how to find it. If cash can manipulate time, I promise I'll rewind it, but I can't. I'll pray you forgive the pain that I've dealt. There's no words that can explain to you the way that I felt. I wanna be there for you every single day you need help. I'm tired of never having love and spending days by myself. He told his brother I forgive you and opened his arms to hug him through the pain that had happened. Wasn't a day he didn't love him. Said I'm glad you understand all these jewels. A wise man surrounded by idiots will always seem like the fool. Yeah, it's true. How do you measure a man? By the things that he owns, and his cash or his loans, and his cars or his homes? Or do you measure a man by what clings to his soul and the minds that he molds with the knowledge that he holds? When you measure a man and try to determine his wealth, may it be about love, peace, family, and health. I hope you understand now, it won't stand aside. Realize anyone could be the richest man alive. The story wasn't told for you to try to follow my life. Listen to your own heart and soul and follow what's right. Today might be dark, but believe tomorrow is bright. And if you're stuck in blackness, read these words of Bob on my life. Fight to earn what you need, don't start turning to greed. You gotta learn how to give before you learn to receive. Stay true to yourself and cherish all your family and friends, cause memories from the past is all that we have in the end. No one's lives are perfect, lots of worse are better than mine, but find happiness in your passions, that's your special design. We all have a reason we're here, it's just a quest of the mind. That's your divine essence, I hope you'll keep your essence divine. I was so moved I couldn't speak, thinking I wanna reply. He said, my message to the world. I started to cry, hugged me close one last time before walking inside, and then he died. The richest man alive. I once knew a man who had no money, but he was the richest man I ever knew. I once knew a man who had no money, but he was the richest man I ever knew. I ever knew.
The music is becoming too powerful, had to shut down. And it shut down just at the point when I was in music, they began shutting it down, they began synthesizing it, they began to make it into a mechanical beat. They took away the true organic sounds that they knew would work the soul.